Les Contamines may be less of a household name than its more illustrious neighbours such as Chamonix and Megève, but it's actually individually the biggest single ski area in the wider Chamonix Unlimited Lift Pass. And if you like piste skiing, it's a phenomenal resort to come to. It's known for its just big, wide, expansive open pistes. Now much of it is above the tree line, so on a low vis day it's not ideal. But if you come here when the weather is like this, it's absolutely glorious. There are many great pistes here for all abilities, but this is my pick of the bunch, my top 5 pistes in the Contamine to give a full flavour of everything the ski area has to offer. Now, these are not in any particular order. I'm not ranking them as such because the quality of the piste will vary day to day depending on the snow conditions and the weather conditions. But yeah, this is my pick of the bunch, my top 5 in the Contamine. I'm currently still sidelined with a bit of a knee injury, so in a minute I'll be handing over my camera to Kasia and she'll take you on a quick whistle-stop tour of the ski area. First on my list, I've chosen the blue Coins piste, or Croix, which is accessed from the Montjoie chairlift behind me over there. Now again, being a blue piste, it's pretty mellow, and even for a blue this is very mellow, but it's lovely, wide, nice flowy, got quite a few rollers on it, some big sweeping snaking turns, so it's basically perfect piste for carving on. The snow is often good up here, it's pretty high, and this part of the ski area catches lots of snow, so it's open for most of the season, and yeah, it's just a really enjoyable, wide, open, flowy piste. You can also access this piste from the runs higher up. Indeed, you can come right from the very top of the upper chairlift, which is the highest lift in the whole of the Contamine ski area. Ski that piste, continue along the traverse a little bit, then link into top of Croix, which gives a super long, super flowy piste as well. But if you are doing it from the Montjoie chairlift, head right off the top of the chair, and then right again, the first right. Don't go left onto the kind of border cross fun park area, and there it's just a broad, wide, open boulevard basically. The piste finishes technically at the bottom of the tierce lift, which you can then use to get back up to the top and continue back on and lap the same piste again, or indeed head somewhere else. But you can continue down from the bottom of that lift, still on the blue track, to the kind of central hub at the bottom of the Contamines Valley. And from there you can join on to several other lifts to head across to other parts of the ski area. Next on my list, I've chosen the red Buche piste, which is accessed from the top of the Buche quasi lift, or equally you can get there from the top of the Olympic chairlift or the Rosette drag lift as well. And again, this is like most of the others, this is a wide, rolling, flowing piste, a bit steeper than Croix. It's got some really big, nice rollers at the top. You can get up a load of speed without having to worry too much about losing control, because it then flattens out again. Some big sweeping turns, again some steeper pitches, some flatter pitches, nice snaky, flowy piste. This is in the slightly more shady part of the ski area as well, so it tends to hold its snow really well. So when other parts of the ski area are descending into slushy, icy moguls and spring snow, that part of the ski area tends to hold colder, fresher, drier snow for much longer. So it's a good bet in the spring when some of the other pistes are deteriorating as well. On a powder day, there's tons of scope for just heading off the piste basically anywhere, left or right, and just you have empty open powder fields wherever you want to go and join back on at any point. There's just tons of opportunity for relatively mellow powder fields over there too. And then in the lower part of the piste, it even becomes a little bit tree lined. They're still quite spaced trees, small trees, but again, it adds a little bit of interest as well. So what am I looking for in a good quality piste? As always, variety is key. You don't just want something that's straight up and down or lots of zigzags. Some nice snaking, sweeping turns, wider sections, narrower sections, steeper sections, flatter sections, some rollers, some off-camber bits. Trees are also desirable as well, although in the Contamine that's something that's in short supply. But some of these pistes are tree lined, some of them are lower down in the trees. But yeah, much of the ski area in the Contamine is above the tree line. And again, you end up at the bottom of the Buche chairlift. That is the only way back out from there, so you need to be confident to be able to take that chairlift to get back up and out. Next up, I have the blue Croix piste, which is accessed from the top of the Olympic chairlift. You can also get there from top of the Buche chairlift as well, and indeed one of the drag lifts. But this heads over the back towards the sunny side, the Haute side of the ski area, so you're heading away from the lifts that you're coming up. And several good ski tours head from the top of this run out left into the backcountry from here as well. So you'll often see people heading off with their skins way off to the side and going over some of the cols and heading up to the peak, which is up to your left as you're starting as well. So I wouldn't advise heading this way in poor visibility unless you know where you're going, because it can feel like you're just heading into the middle of nowhere over there. There's 0 reference points, apart from of course the piste markers and the poles. But yeah, you're heading into nothingness basically if you can't see anything. But quite often when you're here, if it's cloudy on the contamine side, if you drop down just 50, 100 metres or so towards Haute, it opens out into lovely blue skies. Because if there's a northerly or westerly wind, it can push the clouds up towards the ridgeline from the contamines, and then you're in the lee slope on the Haute side. So if you do know where you're going and you have been there at least once before, then it's a great option for when it is cloudy on the contamine side. Now, Croix is quite possibly my favourite piste in the entire Evasion Mont Blanc ski area. It's just really flowy and varied and interesting. It's got quite a few off-camber bits, so it can be a little bit of pain on a snowboard, especially if you're goofy. If you're a regular rider, it's fine because you're on your toe edge, but you're on your heel edge if you're a goofy rider, so it's not as ideal. But especially as a skier, having some off-camber sections, again, it adds to the variety, adds to the interest. And it's got some nice sweeping, snaking turns, more rollers, and really amazing views in the opposite direction to what most of these pistes have, looking down towards Haute and Beaufortain, and just a whole new world really. It's also a great piste to head to on a Bluebird powder day, because you can basically just dive off the piste anywhere to the left into pretty much empty open powder fields, and then just pick one of the tracks which then brings you back towards the piste when you hit the valley bottom. You do need to know where you're going, so it's completely untouched. Let someone else go there first. But yeah, once someone's put a track in which will find its way out, then you can just ski pretty much anywhere off the side of the piste to the left until you hit those tracks and then follow them out.
Oh, cute. We are now in Oculus side.
Next, I've chosen Montjoie, which is accessed from the main signal complex, but if you're coming from somewhere further up the mountain, it's a logical continuation to come down Boulevard into Montjoie as well, which is also a nice blue piste. And then this is also a great way to go down at the end of the day as well, as virtually all pistes converge through signal, so you will start along Montjoie no matter which way you're taking down at the end of the day. This piste in particular is really magical towards the end of the day, especially as the sun is starting to set over the ridgeline behind their back. You get absolutely amazing light from behind, just following you down the piste. It's really stunning, really photogenic, and yeah, really great ambience. Initially the piste is pretty broad, pretty wide. You're on a broad ridge line before it steepens a little bit, and from then it diverges and converges again in several places. So you've got a variety of choice in the midsection of the piste. Although ski racing may well dictate where you go, because some sections will be fenced off periodically for the ski races, but that doesn't really matter. All the lines are good. It's all wide, open, sweeping piste, great for carving on. And then lower down, they all converge again, and you head towards the bottom of the Montjoie chairlift itself. Then get back up to the mountain if you're planning on skiing a bit more. Alternatively, if you take one of the right branches, the village option, if you're heading down at the end of the day, you can keep doing that and continue on to the home run. Then finally I've chosen Ecureuils, or squirrel, which is a green run accessed from partway down the Montjoie piste. So again, you follow the initial broad ridgeline along the flatter section, go around the first bend as it steepens, and then head right again. Basically follow all the signs to the Ecureuils fun park.
But let's see what is there for the kids. Opa. Made it.
Now, the run itself isn't overly interesting if you take away all the little fun features, but I've included it partly because this is a little secret powder spot. So if you head off to the right underneath the gondola line before you get to the Ecureuils piste, there's a little bowl with several options of really good powder skiing, which then brings you onto the Ecureuils halfway down.
It's a pine cone. Hardly made it.
Another reason I've included it is because it then encourages you to stay right when you rejoin the main piste, and it leads into a bit of a secret piste, something which is groomed, it is pisted, but it's not a marked trail. Indeed, there's a sign saying it's reserved only for vehicles or something to that effect.
We will make it.
And this little secret hidden trail is actually one of my favourite pistes in the whole ski area as well. Now, don't worry, my North American friends, it may well be a closed off piste, or indeed not a piste, but don't worry, no one's going to take your lift pass. This is France, you can do what you want. Nobody gives a shit what you do. It just means that if you hurt yourself, it's your own problem. So yeah, you head right off of the main ski area, down initially this little slightly hidden cat track, and then it's just, yeah, lovely wide, flowy, snaky piste through the trees. Approximately 1 cat wide, some places it's 2 cats wide, but yeah, it's reasonably narrow, not too steep, but it just snakes down through the trees with some nice rollers, nice banked turns, and when the snow's good, there's some nice side hits as well. And then this rejoins the village piste as you enter the village that gives it its name. This is again quite a nice wide boulevard with nice big rollers, lovely views, lovely ambience, quite gentle piste which takes you back towards the complex for the 2 gondolas to either access the gorge car park or the village car park.
home run to God.
Or indeed, you continue down the home run and keep going all the way to the bottom.
At the crossroads of two home runs, you need to pick wisely. 2-9.
So there you have it. That's my top 5 pistes in the Contamines, powder and piste skiing paradise. Let me know what you think. Of course, everyone's going to have different opinions, and many of the pistes here could be interchangeable with that list. It's just giving you a nice flavour of everything that the Contamines has to offer.